Hey guys, it's me again, Hanan Qureshi. So, as we spoke about yesterday, that I started off this channel to help the people that I'm communicating to in any way or shape or form possible. So, today, instead of talking about my own journey, I would like to include some lessons that I've learned today that I want to share in my own thoughts. I hope that you guys can benefit, or girls that were watching me can benefit from these lessons. So, when you start to grow as a person, there's a lot of thoughts that come into your mindset. So, here's what I want you guys to understand, that the human beings how human beings operate by itself innately. So, when you grow up as a child, you are born with certain belief systems. And these belief systems might be the way that you interact with the universe, the way that your parents have raised you up, if you had a rough childhood, if you had anything bad happening to you. All of these belief systems get incorporated into you as a person. And as you grow older and older, these thoughts become a part of you, and they shape what you call the subconscious mind. So, if you were grown up thinking that money is just not built for anybody, or certain people are supposed to have money, you are going to live your whole life believing that. So, what does that actually mean? What that means is, if you grow up knowing that money is a scarce resource, you are never going to be able to spend money. You are never going to be able to use money as a tool to grow money. So, a couple of things that I want to share on how we can incorporate new thoughts into our own heads and then change that belief system. So, I want you a lot to think of your mind as a battle going on between your subconscious thoughts that have been given to you by your childhood, by your trauma, by anything that you have been throughout your life, by your past experiences. These thoughts have shaped in the form of what we call the subconscious mind. So, here's what I want you guys to understand, that when you start to grow as a person, and when you start to go on a self-development journey, there's a constant battle going on between your subconscious thoughts and the conscious thoughts that you give yourself to. Now, what do I actually mean by that? So, think of your whole mindset as I'm going to draw it up for you guys just so you understand. So, think of it as this, right? This is your brain. Now, these are all your subconscious thoughts. I'm naming it subconscious thoughts. Okay? And this is your brain currently. So right now your brain has nothing going on in it. So what's going to happen is that your subconscious thoughts are going to infiltrate your mind. Now, what does that mean? If you have had a rough childhood, you're constantly going to think of yourself as a victim. If you had a bad breakup, you're constantly going to think about your life as someone who doesn't deserve love. If your parents were born with poverty, you constantly think that money only is built for people who actually are unicorns, or have two wings, or any of that thoughts that you have been thought to believe, if it makes sense. So here's what I want you guys to now understand, and how you can change that. If you constantly add positive thoughts into your head, what's going to happen is there's a reaction that's going on. Instantly, if you start saying to yourself, I'm a winner, 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 I'm a winner. And you have to understand, when you do these kind of things, you have to constantly take actions to get yourself into that position. So if you go to the gym, and if you constantly say to yourself that you are a winner, you are a winner, you are a winner, sooner rather than later, your mind is going to be filled with your conscious mind, which is what you are thinking at this stage. It's going to be constantly thinking about you are a winner, you are a winner. And then this is going to be A constant thought, a constant thought, constant thought. So, say your brain is at this stage, and this is you at this stage, and you're 50% there, and you have all these negative thoughts filled with that you're a fat guy, or you do not deserve to go to the gym, or you do not deserve to exercise, or you're always going to be a loser. All of these thoughts that have been given to you by your own thought process, by the past experiences, not to blame you, by the past experiences that you've been gone through, and these subconscious thoughts have been in your mind for an extended period of time. Once you start saying this belief system over and over and over, you're going to get two benefits from this. First of all, you are taking action to constantly take you to that belief system where you actually want to be. And you are not going to be thinking these negative thoughts which have been given. These are not real thoughts. I want you guys to understand that these are not real thoughts. Your present is different compared to your past. Over an extended period of time, what's going to happen is you will start replacing these thoughts with positive thoughts, because this is going to become history. Your mind is going to start override that old belief system. And this is what visualization actually means. People try to negotiate and understand and try to make this as a big deal, as if you wake up and say to yourself that you are going to be a winner and do not take any action towards it, you are certainly going to be a winner. That is completely false. But if you're in the gym and if you feel like you are being judged, or if you feel like you are in the gym and you feel like a loser and you feel like not taking action, I want you guys to understand that if you go with the belief system that you are a winner, that you are going to have that shredded body, or whatever the goal is, if you're afraid of talking to girls, if you're afraid of taking that first move, if you are afraid of uploading that first video, if you are afraid of telling a friend that you miss them, I want you guys to understand that the first thought that comes into your own head is the thought given to you by your subconscious mind, which is an amalgamation of how your brain has been developed for an extended period of time. But if you neglect that thought, if you choose to believe that you are not going to believe that thought and you are going to believe something that's completely new, now you're going to ask yourself, or you're going to ask me, Hanan, what am I supposed to believe in? What are the thoughts that I'm supposed to believe in? This is exactly where you come in. This is exactly why your dreams, why your goals become a reality. When you decide that you want to be somewhere, say you wake up today right now and you decided that you are going to have 6 packs by the end of 3 months. You go to the gym. You have made up this massive ideal dream goal that you want to be. And you can be in the worst shape possible. You can be addicted to extremely bad habits. You do not know how to diet. You have no control over anything that you approach. Anything that you approach, as in like the way that you eat, the way that you consume calories. And you will realize that if you follow the path of consistently taking those actions on saying, all right, I'm going to eat healthy food. I'm going to eat something that's going to benefit my body. And during that process, your subconscious mind is trying to convince you that do not eat this food because your body is not used to it. Your mind is not used to it. But give yourself a perspective and realize that people who are born with extreme athleticism, people who are someone like David Goggins, someone like the most brutal and the most fastest running people, these people are no different than you are. I want you guys to completely believe that. All they've done is they have put that in their subconscious mind that they are winners, and they have done it over such an extended period of time, and they have consistently taken action to believe those systems. The more stressful scenarios that you put yourself in while saying those things, and you're consistently taking action, sooner rather than later you will realize that your belief system is going to change. After an extended period of time, you wouldn't want to eat that bad food. You wouldn't want to eat that McDonald's, because you have convinced your own mind to believe that eating healthy food is the way of the winner. Eating bad food, eating something that you are not supposed to eat, is something bad. It's not something that has been taught to you. Maybe, and it could be that your parents have always raised you up, and it could be the other way around as well. If you're born with a healthy family and you constantly just say to yourself, I'm not going to eat healthy food, I'm not going to eat healthy food, then your subconscious mind is filled with positive thoughts. You've got great parents, you've got great ideal base, you've got an absolutely amazing foundation. But because you've consistently gone on a path of an undisciplined mindset, and you've consistently taken a path that's going to take you to the place where you don't want to be, you will realize that sooner rather than later you will drift to that direction. And this is such an important concept. The main core of this concept is you can literally change anything by having a belief system and taking one step action towards it. You have to remember that if you can change your mindset to believe something, if you wake up today and you said, I do not want to go run, that run is going to be absolutely difficult. But if you wake up to the mindset and say to yourself, today I want to go to do a run, you will realize that you are going to be doing more miles, more performance. You'd be running faster, you'd feel less sluggish, you would feel less tired, and your mind will try to convince you to go a bit faster. And this is exactly how it works. And you can't just do it by constantly just, and every time your mind just goes completely blank, it does not think anything, it becomes lazy, because this is where your physical endeavors comes in. If you haven't eaten anything good, if you have not done proper food, your body will start to feel lazy, sluggish, or whatever the laziness or whatever the excuse that it is for today. It could be you have lack of sleep. But if during those circumstances you can just push yourself one step further and just take action, mid set, mid run, you will start to realize that there's a shift in your mindset. And today I did a run. I have never been able to run for more than 30 minutes. I did a run, and towards the end of the run, I was running at 17 kilometers per hour, and I generally did not want to stop. And trust me, this is coming from a guy who could barely even walk, and as soon as he started walking, his lungs would start to collapse because of the amount of smoking that I used to do. So when I tell you these things, I want you guys to believe that this is from an experience. This is coming from a guy who started with absolutely nothing. And when I tell you these things, this is from the mindset that I've acquired today. So I want you guys to completely believe that. So the lesson for today is that your mind is completely filled with these negative thoughts, these subconscious thoughts coming from your past negative experiences, from any bad trauma, from any past bad habits that you've acquired. And you can change that by constantly putting in these positive thoughts. Over an extended period of time, if you do it more and more, more and more, more and more, and the more you start to memorize and the more you start to believe it, sooner rather than later, these negative thoughts will get replaced. And you will start to have these positive thoughts. And these positive thoughts will build momentum, and sooner rather than later you will realize that you're not even the same person anymore. You will start to feel more and more proud of yourself, and this is where your confidence kicks in. This is when you start to genuinely want to self improve, because you know that your mind is so used to feeling this feeling of constantly growing. And if you could take one thing from today, is do not ignore the process of repetition. Whatever you constantly repeat in your head, whether it be good or bad, after an extended period of time, it will become true. So choose your thoughts very carefully, set up a goal, and say that goal to yourself every day of your life. And then during that process, you will realize that you are starting to believe that goal more and more, more and more every day. And during the times when you're facing the most difficult amount of days, you just have to say that goal more and more, more and more. And the more you can believe in that goal, the more that goal will start to strengthen, and you will become more and more powerful. So have a great day, guys. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. And let me know how you feel about this content. Cheers.